OKFM 101.7.
Yentimi nka ana yentimi ni nkomo abra yenka free SHS. Ene ya former president John Dramani Mahama, leader of NDC, waka say Ghana for yen adom no almost out to abamana double track no, or referring to as traffic light. We so green now, yes or now oba 1 year obema cha. So what you say ya now I know you be obeying the same.
First of all, President Mahama, former President Mahama, free SHS, Kassan, I mean, said that say how which me can be built, I'm out for which me Anya Gigi anymore. Free SHS, first time I'm a boss. I say political gimmick, maybe per vote. Now, it says by also to be sure about so Ghana cry, it'll take 20 years. And a baby. Or Rabishino from the beginning, saying ye be beer, and bebo or mine Kosovo. 2 years ago, if we know, so over 2 billion CDs. Oh, and yet often school fees. Are you questioning the policy of paying fees for children, students, or maybe before from? Then so soon, and that day, also for bar, you continue the free SHS policy to the extent Christ on the paper call a boy when they were private schools. You say, well, but how credible is this man on private on free SHS? I'll give you an example of what I mean by credible. National Health Insurance Scheme have the same scenario. About first, NDC for so is worthless. There's that. Here's our parliament. 2003. Emma Tame Yeba Beye Ehushisayano, Emrano, for the National Health Authority, and the scheme. Entire NDC members of parliament, if we walked out in protest against the bill, so one day they don't want to have anything to do with it. The same thing to say when they oppose the SHS. I say, Akufo Mauni who say, Betchumi Aye, they then came to say, when they want to buy, the bay one-time premium, and you have access to the NHS for the rest of time. 8 years, what about power? That promise just disappeared. We never saw that promise materialize. They never made any effort to explain to the country why that promise. At one stage, we had some feeble excuses that they were doing actuarial assessment to see, but at the end of the day, 8 years I want to buy. At the end of the day, when you buy free order, not cash and carry about Ghana bill, because of debts that have been piled up within the system. 18 providers were no longer prepared to provide services to the NHIS against on credit. Towards the end of his 8 year of his period in office, we came back to something like cash and carry, which is his belief, which is their belief in the NDC. They brought the cash and carry system. So that's why Memeka say, what is the credibility of a man who, in opposition, you oppose the policy, you give your reasons, because are they enye. Then Anam say, who say a man for any Jihuntino, what's the someone? Was it also the Oba now, Baby, you're going to get rid of double track in so many It was in the first year of his government.
First
1
year. Obey double track.
Yes.
What's not say was steady.
Has he told?
Because when in football, coach beats me to no worry, the opponent tactics.
Yeah, but you at the beginning, opponents wash out that. You have first of all to see a Kwanzaa the shell. Then you come forward to say, now I'll find a different technique. Have we heard from this man that he's now fully on board with free SHS?
Okay, but you share numbers of free SHS here.
It might be bizarre. Let me finish with it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Have we heard from him a statement said now he's fully on board free SHS? I'm asking you.
From the all candidates that he is on board.
Well, but you should hear that clearly. So that the arguments that he put up against it before, Omagana for United said, I heard there, one can ye. Lawyer.
Lawyer.
Where is your credibility?
It was also question is where is his credibility?
I think his credibility on SHS, on so many areas of our national life. The man who's now talking about providing 1 million jobs over 5 years. In your time, when you were first in office, you were not even able to employ people in the public sector because you were under IMF tutelage. You now can come forward and say you're going to give 1 million jobs. And you want the generality of Ghanaians to believe you.
Still on free SHS, Mofra Wadaro Mawubai or Mafemuno Dawson. A big question is going forward, are we ready? Institutions are we ready to absorb them after?
We're making the effort. It's going on. The institutions are there, even at the tertiary level. A lot of the universities are getting ready to absorb the bigger numbers. And in any event, this policy, this double track policy, there's nothing so inimical about it. It has worked for a lot of places in the world. And it makes sense. Because when you look back on it, assets, educational assets, in traditional terms, they are in play only for 6 months of the year. 6 months of the year, the 3 terms of school, which usually amount to what, 6-7 months. 5 months, 5 to 6 months, the schools are down. Nothing is happening. Those assets are completely idle. So if you could have a system where the school assets you have are in constant use, automatically you're bringing many, many more people into the game. Some people who could otherwise not have access now have access. And that is what we're after, to widen and broaden the access. Because the materials at school dying, your friend is saying classrooms, desks and this and that, blackboards, all of those things. They're not taken away every term. They're still there. So if we can find a way of using them all the time. Yeah, so there's nothing so crazy about the system. And right now, the way our system, in Crawford, who say yes, in fact, there's some sense in it. And it'll stay for a little bit. It'll stay. Ideally, you want a situation where we'll be at court at the same time. That is the ideal. In the meantime, until we've got all our structures in place, Kwame accelerated educational policy in the 1950s. So, schools under trees. Or train near CC school and then sana policy na Juma. That is the same principle on which I'm working.
OKFM 101.7.